It was a normal, busy work day for Oluchi, a beautiful 28 years old lady who works as a cashier in a big supermarket in the city of Ikeja, Lagos. As usual, customers who have picked items they came to shop for queued up at the counter to make payments. There were 4 cashiers at the counter, including Oluchi. As the queue moved, it got to the turn of a man who stood before Oluchi. Why have your purchasing department stopped restocking the biggest size of this coffee? The man asked Oluchi, holding up a small tin of black coffee. I don't like buying these small things. I prefer to buy just 1 or 2 of the bigger tin. Buying so many small things occupies so much space in my pantry, he complained. In his trolley were 3 more things of the same coffee. Oh, sir, we still do, Oluchi replied. It is just that the company hasn't been producing much of that size lately. And the few they do, they distribute them to bigger supermarkets and distributors, she explained further. I am sure our purchasing manager is working on how we can also get a share from the few production, Oluchi said. Then, she quickly signaled to a shopping assistant to take the man to the customer relations officer so she wouldn't have to keep the other customers who were behind waiting. Some minutes later, the man came out. Thank you. Your CRO has assured me that next time when I come, the bigger size of my favorite black coffee would be available. As a matter of fact, he said he would give me a call immediately you have it in stock, the man told Oluchi. Thanks for being helpful, by the way, and looking out for customers like us, even when it is not your designation, the man said. Oluchi smiled and told him that she was glad that she could be of help, and the man left. 3 weeks later, the man came again as he received an SMS from them that informed him that the size of the coffee he wants was now available. There were a lot of customers in the supermarkets and the queue was quite long this time. There were even more people queuing on Oluchi's side. From the many people at her side and the way they exchanged smiles and pleasantry with Oluchi, and from his last encounter, the man could tell that Oluchi was a nice person and someone everybody likes. He decided to also join the queue at her side so he would have the opportunity to speak with her again. After about 17 minutes, it got to his turn. Hello, how are you doing? I am here to pick my favorite coffee again, and this time I got it in the size I want, he said with a smile. Hello, sir, nice to see you again. I am happy you got the size you want this time, Oluchi replied with a warm smile. I can see you are a nice person and I would like to be your friend. I would like to know you better, if you do not mind, the man said. He brought out his business card and gave to Oluchi, after which he proceeded to pay for his goods. And after packaging the goods for him, Oluchi wrote down a mobile number on a tiny piece of paper and gave to the man also. At the close of work, Oluchi took a proper look at the man's card, and that was the first time she knew his name. The name on the card reads, Barrister Itoro Inemesit, legal practitioner and associate of Inemesit and Uduak Associates. Oluchi was blown away. So the man who has requested to be her friend and wants to know her better is Barrister Inemesit, the same Barrister Inemesit whose name and profile became popular 18 months ago for winning a complicated case that other most lawyers couldn't handle. He unraveled a case of murder committed by the son of a top female politician, which the Special Police Force and other related forces and agencies were finding difficult to unravel. Reporters and media houses described him as a man who possessed both the wisdom of Solomon and the eye of an eagle. She also remembered that the news said, though he ran the law firm with his childhood best friend and learned colleague Barrister Udwak, he owns the majority shares of the company, up to about 65%, because he is from a wealthy and renowned family in Cross River State. The news also stated that he was 42 years old at the time, but he was still unmarried. They described him as currently amongst the most eligible bachelors then. Oluchi was thrilled at the thought of having the opportunity of getting to know someone with such high profile. Then, she wondered if he was married now or was still single. But she calculated and figured out that Barrister Itoro should be 43 or even 44 years old by now. And even if he was still unmarried yet, he should have a fiancé whom he would be planning to settle down with soon, at least. Besides, Oluchi reasoned that she was just 28 years and that the age difference between them was a little quite much. And with this, she brushed off the thought of him away from her mind. At home that evening, Oluchi had just finished taking a shower. I was in the kitchen serving herself a plate of spaghetti when her phone rang. Oluchi picked it up but saw that the screen displayed no name, but a mobile number she was not familiar with. She proceeded to take the call anyway. Hello, my name is Itoro. I gave you my business card earlier today. Or, let's simply say the big tin coffee man, the voice said, and chuckled. And though he tried to be modest by simply introducing himself by just only his first name, Itoro, Oluchi recognized his voice and knew who he was immediately, before he went on to describe himself as the big tin coffee man. At the end of the call, Oluchi was thrilled that Barrister Itoro actually did call, and also that he went on to ask her out on a date so he would get to know her better. A day before their first dates, Barrister Itoro sent over a pretty, elegant and expensive red dinner dress, a box with a pair of silver shoes, and a bottle of wine. He also attached a note with it. The note read, "I hope the dress fits and I hope you like it. Looking forward to our dates. Love from Itoro." What a thoughtful gentleman, Oluchi muttered to herself after reading the notes. Well, their dinner date was the best Oluchi had ever had. Barrister Itoro was an intentional man who ensured that everything about their dates was perfect. Oluchi realized that he was shy around her. They had a few more dinner dates after that one, and when they weren't on a date, Itoro would send flowers and chocolates and other little gifts items to her at work. Also, a few times during her off days, Oluchi went to court to watch Itoro work, and the way he intelligently handled and argued every case made Oluchi admire him more. And as the weeks and months spanned fast, Oluchi gradually fell in love with him and cared less about the age difference between them. He ticked all her boxes. He was calm, intelligent, hardworking, loved and respected people, irrespective of their status. He was also good looking and not just only financially stable. He was wealthy and has his own company, a law firm. However, one question lingered in Oluchi's mind. Since Itoro seemed so perfect and was doing well financially, why hadn't he been married until now? He was 43 years old, so what could he be waiting for? Or what could have prevented him from being married until now? Well, one day, Oluchi asked him about all of this. I haven't gotten married until now because I hadn't found someone who I truly love and wanted to spend the rest of my life with, Itoro told her. And Oluchi felt it was a reasonable excuse. A month later after that question, Itoro proposed to Oluchi. He asked her to marry him because he loved her and is certain that she is the one for him. Oluchi gladly accepted to be Itoro's wife and to spend the rest of her life with him. However, Oluchi began to have concerns after their wedding when Itoro instructed her to take a birth control pill after every intimate moment. We just got married. We should enjoy ourselves and have some time together first, Itoro told her when she asked why he didn't want them to have children yet. At first, Oluchi didn't have any issue with this. Besides, she said to herself that at least she was a little younger and had only just clocked 29. So, waiting for a few months before having children was not a bad idea. However, when after 14 months of being married, Itoro was still insisting that she continued taking birth control pills, Oluchi could no longer endure it. Enough is enough. I will no longer take any birth control pills, Oluchi said firmly one evening after an intimate moment. And before she knew what was happening, Itoro held her and forced the pill into her mouth and down her throat. And this continued. Itoro kept insisting that she continued taking the pill after every intimate time and would force it into her mouth and down her throat if she refuses. Twice, Oluchi threw away the pills, but Itoro replaced them. If he found out that she had thrown away the pill, he drove out immediately, no matter what time it was, to get a new one from the pharmacy. Things became sour between them because Itoro always applied force to make her take the pill. Oluchi no longer saw him as the calm and caring husband she used to know and had fallen in love with. Every time, Itoro apologized for using force on her and would buy her gifts as part of his apology. But he never changed. Oluchi, seeing that the force continued, also stopped sleeping with him. What is the essence when there will be a bad experience thereafter? She said to Itoro. But when after a few more months, Oluchi's mother started asking her if something was wrong because it was now 3 years of them being married and Oluchi hadn't been pregnant. Oluchi herself became more worried. In the beginning, Oluchi had told her mother the same thing Itoro said when they first got married. Mama, we just got married. My husband and I want to enjoy ourselves and have some time together first before having children, she had told her mother, but did not tell her it was Itoro's idea though. Well, after the constant inquiry and worry from her mother, Oluchi finally opened up to her mother one day and told her what she had been going through. Her mother was very worried when she heard what Oluchi told her. Is your husband perhaps a member of an occult group that had forbidden him not to have children? Oluchi's mother asked with panic. No, Mama, God forbid. My husband does not belong to any occult group. That I am sure of, Oluchi replied. But her mother told her that she can never be too sure and suggested that Oluchi conduct a thorough search in her home for any weird or unfamiliar item and offered to join her in the search. So one day, when Itoro was away on a work trip, Oluchi and her mother searched the entire house thoroughly. But they found nothing diabolical or weird. So, her mother told her to apply wisdom regarding the issue. You must find a way not to swallow the pill. You must not struggle with him or resist taking the pill. Accept the pill from him and pretend that you have decided to continue taking it until he says otherwise. Hide the pill under your tongue and take it out as soon as possible when he's not watching, Oluchi's mother told her. And so, that was what Oluchi did. She did not succeed in the first month though, as Itoro's gaze was always on her for a long time until the pill would melt in her mouth. But on the second month, she was successful, and to her excitement a month after that, she discovered that she was pregnant. However, Itoro was furious when he discovered that she had played a fast one on him and was now pregnant. You can't have that baby. You must abort it, he yelled with intense fury that got Oluchi scared. But Oluchi was determined and told him that she would not terminate her pregnancy for any reason. If you don't want the child, I want it. You can file for a divorce if you want thereafter, but I am certainly keeping and having this child, she summoned the courage to say. Well, a week later one afternoon, Oluchi developed serious cramps and began bleeding profusely afterwards. There was no one in the house, so she managed to drive herself to the hospital after calling her mother to meet her there. After she was taken care of in the hospital, the reports showed that she suffered a miscarriage as a result of an induced abortion. Mrs. Inemesit, it is risky to take abortion pills, more so without the guidance of a medical professional, the doctor told her. Oluchi was confused and swore that she never had an abortion or took any abortion pills. Doctor, I've always wanted a child, so why would I abort it now that I was going to have one? Oluchi said. Well, the doctor maintained that traces of abortion pills were found in her system. If you say you didn't take any abortion pill, then how did it find its way into your system? Do you suspect anyone who would not want you to have your baby? The doctor asked. And that was when Oluchi realized that the culprits would be no other than her own husband, Itoro. That morning during breakfast, Oluchi had felt that her hot chocolate drink tasted different. But Itoro told her that she probably felt that way because of her taste buds and as a result of the pregnancy hormones, and suggested she adds more sugar to her hot chocolate drink so it would taste better. Well, Itoro did not deny it later that evening when Oluchi confronted him with it. I told you I don't want us to have any children. At least not yet. he said in his defense. Oluchi was so enraged and decided she was going to file for a divorce and sue him. However, her mother advised her against taking such actions. Do not make a hasty decision. We need wisdom to tackle this issue. Just give me some time. I will discuss this with my pastor when he returns from his pilgrimage, her mother told her. Well, Itoro later apologized to his wife for his action and did not stop until she agreed to forgive him. But she agreed to forgive him on the condition that he would no longer make her take birth control pills and that they would work on having another child. Itoro accepted her terms so she would forgive him. But deep in his mind, he decided he was going to arrange for a doctor to perform a birth control implant without Oluchi's knowledge. But what he did not know was that as he was making his plans, so was Oluchi. And so, though he refused to be intimate with her that night after their settlement, and had given the excuse that he needed to work on an important case, Oluchi drugged his wine the next night to get him intoxicated and aroused. Well, Oluchi became pregnant almost immediately again, but did not tell Itoro. However, Itoro found the pregnancy test reports on the third month. Itoro was so mad that this time he forcefully put some abortion pills into her mouth himself and down her throat, just like he did with the birth control pills. However, it was in this moment that her mother walked in with her pastor she spoke about. Itoro was caught in the act. Oluchi's mother and the pastor immediately rushed Oluchi to the hospital. But it was too late as the drug had already taken effect and had affected the fetus. Oluchi even began to bleed almost immediately after they arrived at the hospital. This time, Oluchi's mother was so angry and began to yell at Itoro, crying and accusing him of trying to kill her daughter. Itoro was ashamed of himself and what he had done when he saw the pastor and his mother-in-law. So, he fell on his knees and began to cry. And that was when he told them that he also strongly desires to have children, but that he was going to die if he did. 26 years ago, Itoro's late father, a very promiscuous man, had forcefully defiled a young girl. The girl reported it to her mother, who in return reported the issue to the community head. But Itoro's father denied that he did force himself on the girl. And because he was wealthy and was from a prominent family, the case was dismissed without giving the girl justice. Weeks later, the girl discovered that she was pregnant and died some months later as a result of labor complications. The girl's mother, out of grief, marched to Itoro's father's compound and laid a curse on all his sons that they would never have a child of their own and that the day they do, they would die. Itoro's father had laughed at the woman, dismissed her words, and asked his servants to throw her out. Itoro and his brothers were still young at the time. His father had 6 boys, including Itoro himself, and 3 other daughters. They had also witnessed the incidents, but did not take it seriously. However, 3 of Itoro's brothers died years later, on the day their child were born. 2 his older brothers, and 1 his immediate younger brother. This was when they remembered the woman's curse and realized that it happened exactly as the woman had said. So, the other three surviving sons sought for redemption. They went looking for the woman so they would apologize on their father's behalf and begged for forgiveness. But when they did, they discovered that the woman had also died. They were introduced to a prophet who was believed to have the power to break curses. The prophet prayed, performed some rituals, and assured them that they were free. However, the fourth brother died still when his wife had his first and only child. So, Itoro and his only surviving brother are scared to have children. And it is the reason why Itoro had remained unmarried for that long. But he fell so deeply in love with Oluchi that he couldn't let her go. Oh my God! So you tortured me and made me suffer all this while because of the evil curse in your family. You married me knowing about this still. Itoro, you are wicked, Oluchi said in tears after she heard Itoro's confession. Well, the pastor, after listening to it, felt pity for Itoro because he was suffering as a result of his father's sin. But he blamed him still for keeping the truth away from Oluchi. He decided that they were going to embark on a 14 days fast along with warfare prayers to seek God's mercy and intervention regarding the curse. Well, they did. And Itoro prayed and prayed and cried out to God as he had never done. At the end of the fast and on the 14th day, the pastor assured him that the spell was broken because of God's mighty power. And even Itoro could somehow feel it himself. But Oluchi swore that nevertheless she would never forgive or accept Itoro back because he made her go through physical and emotional torture. She contacted a lawyer and filed for a divorce. The end. Hey, lovelies. So what do you think about this story? Do you blame Itoro for not opening up about the death curse on his family? And about Oluchi's decision not to forgive him? Do you think it is harsh? I mean, Itoro was scared for his life, right? What advice would you give if you meet someone with the same issue as Oluchi? Please drop your comments. I want to know what you think. And please support me by giving this video a like and share it to your friends and loved ones. Thank you. I'll see you guys in my next story. Bye.